Garrett, Sisti here to talk about the Chargers' first-round pick, Derwin James, a safety out of Florida State. And we'll talk about where Derwin James is going to play in this Chargers defense, which is a popular question. And before we do, kind of want to go over some underrated aspects of Derwin James' game. Now, of course, you talk about the coverage skills. You've talked about the run game, which we'll talk about as well, and the versatility, the quote-unquote literal Swiss Army knife, which of course isn't literal at all, but Derwin James can play all over, and we'll talk about his versatility too. But to start off, one thing that isn't getting mentioned enough is Derwin James' ability to blitz. The thing about Derwin James' versatility is he can line up at any DB spot, and you'll also see in a little bit that he'll line up as a linebacker as well. Now, in this play is probably where you're going to see a lot of Derwin James, especially in base defense, and that's the deep safety. Here, he's in the middle of the field, and you'll see there's three corners that are covering the three wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. Derwin James is sent on the blitz here. Now, this is the beauty of Derwin James. He can close in a hurry, and you'll see that he gets in the quarterback's face. Now, the quarterback dumps off to the running back here in the flat, but Derwin James creates pressure. But as you see on this play, Derwin James is a threat to blitz from anywhere on the field. Lamar Jackson made the right decision, took the dump off to the running back. On this play, this is where Derwin James is dangerous, because on that last play, he almost got his hands on the ball. But here's where Derwin James is not only fast, but he also plays smart as a blitzer. He's lined up on the right side of the line of scrimmage here on this play, but you'll see a lot of edge rushers, not even just DBs, but edge rushers will go straight for the quarterback and try to go for the big hit, or just try to get their hand on a tip ball at the line of scrimmage. Derwin James does multiple things here. Not only does he blitz off the edge, he gets his hand up and positions his body in the way of the passing lane to tip the ball from Jalen Hurts. It's not just about trying to get a hand on the ball. He positions his body to get in the way of throwing lanes. Does the same thing here, slides behind the running back, gets in the throwing lane, messes up the timing and the throw, just as good as a tip pass. Here he comes again off the edge, quarterback tucks it, gets hit by another defender. Now here's what you can expect from the Chargers. They have an edge rusher here, and Derwin James is lined up next to him, and this is what you're probably going to see, especially on obvious passing downs, putting him on either side of Ingram or Bosa at the line of scrimmage. And as you can see, if offensive linemen are paying attention to those edge rushers, here comes Derwin James off the edge. So back to Derwin James playing free safety. In the run game, you can expect a lot more of this and a lot less of this from last year. More plays like this, and less plays from Trey Boston like this.
Derwin James not only upgrades the run defense, but also in an area that the Chargers have struggled for years, and that's defending the running backs out of the backfield in the passing game. Derwin James, as a free safety in the Chargers' base defense, attacks the line of scrimmage. Here's a couple good examples of Derwin James playing some screen passes. From another angle here, you're going to see Derwin James fly into the bottom right of your screen, sidestep an oncoming blocker. While there's a few missed tackles from the Florida State defenders, Derwin James drives low on the tackle, holds on. More defenders come to help out. Tackle for a loss. Again, Derwin James is the deep man, sniffs out the wide receiver screen, navigates his way through traffic, avoids another oncoming offensive lineman, just wraps up the wide receiver, pushes them out of bounds for a loss. So while you can expect Derwin James as a free safety in the Chargers' base defense, he does most of his damage near line of scrimmage. So when Gus Bradley runs the nickel defense, which he does the majority of the time, you're going to see Derwin James as the nickel linebacker, the same role Adrian Phillips played last year. Getting back to being able to cover running backs, here's Derwin James, lined up as a linebacker, recognizes the wheel route, read and reacts, gets in front, high points for the interception. While playing that linebacker spot at Florida State, Derwin James was asked to spy the QB a lot as well. You especially saw that during the game against Alabama and Jalen Hurts. This is another added bonus to the Chargers defense. Derwin James can man the middle of the field in coverage as the linebacker while also spying on the QB. Because Derwin James is such a versatile defensive back, you're probably going to see him kicked inside playing the slot at times. You'll also see him play outside, and since he's so good near the line of scrimmage, also playing some strong safety as well. You'll see Derwin James in a lot of nickel and dime defenses where they bring 5 and 6 defensive backs on the field. Not to mention, Derwin James might just get some work on special teams early on. It's hard to imagine another player in this 2018 draft that could have vaulted the Chargers defense like a player like Derwin James does. Not only does he fill the free safety spot that's left vacant from Trey Boston during free agency, but also fills a spot that the Chargers needed to get better at, and that was the hybrid linebacker safety spot that Adrian Phillips played last year. Though Adrian Phillips had the best season of his career, he's a little bit undersized for that position and struggled in the run game. This is where Derwin James can fill in right away. He also becomes an extra DB in nickel and dime, creating more opportunities for all the cornerbacks on the roster to get on the field at the same time when they run 5 and 6 DBs on the field. He also can fill in at slot cornerback, outside corner, and can also be the strong safety if need be. He improves the Chargers' run D and is also an added weapon as a blitzer, with Des King as well, having 2 DBs be a threat to rush the quarterback at any moment. Derwin, not to mention, helps out in areas that the Chargers have struggled at for years, which is covering running backs out of the backfield, having trouble with mobile quarterbacks, and consistently having mismatches with tight ends. Derwin James fills that and more. Multiple boxes checked, and your potential Defensive Player of the Year.